and I don't know what you're making yet, so we'll figure that out. But we are going to start with cutting into our bags. And Jen, this will be for you to put yours in. And these are yours.
Okay.
And Joe, this one is yours. And so when we are not using the legs and you need to take a break, put them in the cooler so that they stay cool. Because we only have 3 or 4 days to finish this project and dry them.
And the reason why is if you don't do that, you end up with a stinky bag. I've had some bags, they don't smell like your bags.
Yeah, so when people say, oh, you know, if I don't have time to finish this now, I'll just take it home. It's like, no. No, not unless you have a freezer, so you can freeze
Or a
it
cooler or
outside.
something like that with ice,
Well,
bunch of
a
ice.
cooler doesn't really cut it after a while. It just doesn't.
Well, I mean, it's just enough time just to get home and
freeze it?
Yeah.
Or, yeah, that. So, when we cut them, we'll do this. How many of you have done that before? Have you? You have, obviously. Oh no, that's.
That's
Oh.
why I'm excited to learn the whole process.
Right.
Okay. And have you? Did I make you do it last time?
No, there wasn't the last time. No, but I have poorly processed a couple of deer, and usually it's just leave that part for the critters.
Right.
So that's part of why I want to do this, is I want to learn how to do something with that part.
Perfect. I have primitive blades, and you can go up in a flint knapping place if you do want to try that. A lot of people, especially guys, have sharp knives, but after a while they usually go to these very primitive.
yeah, those box cutter blades.
Well, you know, the more we get into this stuff, those become more and more primitive now that we have like 5-blade razors and, you know.
Yeah.
Right. So you can, I had one lady last year that did it with only primitive. She used these to cut with, and I also have artificial sinew, no, not artificial, real sinew, if somebody wants to try that. I got some wet there. So you have that choice if you want to. It will take longer, be a little bit more, harder, I should think, because you need to make the holes first with the awl, and it will take a little bit longer. So, if we want them to look not like Sid, we start in the front, and we do a cut down here. For this one, you would do the cut here.
And it's really just aesthetic. It's not there's no other
No,
difference.
no. With some of them, you know, you have a little bit more skin left,
Little work
or
room, yeah.
hide. But if you try to sew this together, you know, it really depends on the animal. There's just so little to sew with. But on the other hand, you know, if you did that, you would still have two close together. I just really like that. But that's me. You can do whichever one you want. These are freshly frozen last year, so we keep them in our freezer. If they dry on the bone, it's almost, depending on how long they're dried for, it's almost impossible to get them off the bone. Even
Without
if you
damaging
soak
the
them.
skin.
Yeah, and then if you have to soak them for 3 days, now
Then the hair slips
and
they
it's
get
going to start
stinky.
to smell, and you're not going to have a lot of time. And if you dry them like this, with deer, it kind of works okay to rehydrate them. If you have something thicker, you're going to lose a lot of the edges you have to cut off because they just get too hard, and I can't rehydrate them. One guy said that he took his and wrapped them in like saran wrap, and just the moisture from the earth, you know, would actually rehydrate them.
So then they didn't get like a freezer burn.
Right, but I have not tried that. I really should. So, anyway, so you start at the top. Cut through. You guys can come closer if you want to. If you want somebody stand over here. So sometimes the hard part is to stay in the middle without too much wobbling. And then you cut all the way down between the toes. So now, here we have, and then here is some sinew. If you guys want to save any of the sinew, you can do that. And what I like to do is to try to get it as clean as possible when I take it off the bone, and get, you know, the blood vessels to stay off.
So the meat and the grease and the fat on one side and the skin, and is it a membrane on the other side?
Yeah.
So do you cut the whole thing or do you pull at some point?
I don't usually pull. He does when we do this, but sometimes I do, but not often. And it's totally okay to pull because they won't break. And another thing to think about, so like if I cut, see how when I cut here, I kind of cut into the bone, and it will be clearer. But if I do it from this side, I will actually, if I'm not really careful, I will cut holes in
Got it.
the skin. So then I usually turn it instead so that I have
The sharp towards the bone.
the sharp towards the bone.
Okay.
Yes. So,
And have you experimented with all different kind of blades and you found this to be the most effective?
yes, unless you don't mind sharpening your knife all the time. Plus, I have so much control because it's so close to my hand. It's not,
Yeah,
you know, even if you have a knife that's not very long.
that makes sense.
But, you know,
So-
just experiment. And what we found, when you cut an elk, after one elk, you're going to have to use a new razor blade because
Oh,
it dulls
okay.
so fast.
Try using primitive rocks.
Right.
I haven't taken knife sharpening yet. I always get involved in other things.
Right? Well, I'm really lucky because I got
Isn't
Kent
that
over
nice?
there. It's very nice. So, for you, this is, it's going to have some scent glands right here. So try to not cut into that.
It stinks.
Yes.
Wait till I bring it home to my dog.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, you can, you know, pull like that. And then when you come down here, so the hard part is to get past these. So now, I'm going to come down here and cut. And for you that make round bags, this cut here, see if you can come down on the inside and cut that, because that's going to give you that really cute flare at the bottom. This one, otherwise it will be straight. So when you come in, cut a little bit further down on the inside, okay? And then I like to cut around and cut as close to the hoof as possible. And sometimes I even get some of the hoof, but we cut that off later. Because you want as much as possible down here. Because we're going to use it to make the rounded bottom.
Do you find that the freezing process changes it at all, or have you tried it on fresh as well?
Oh yeah. When we harvest them, when we get it from the butcher, we try to take them off then because it's so easy. But even this that's been frozen and wrapped, I try to use construction, the black construction, thick plastic to wrap them in, because I found that it gives less freezer burn. I mean, these are basically like raw and fresh and new.
Do you get funny looks from the butcher when you tell him you want those?
Depends on where you live.
Oh, okay.
I wonder if cow would work.
Oh, probably.
Yeah, I could be real popular explaining that to my neighbor. Yes, I'd like all your cow feet.
Now, why
I
don't
go
you-
to the local butcher, like, that butchers a lot of the, if there's ranchers around there, you might be able to get some.
Upstate New York.
Yeah.
No elk.
Yeah, I know. A lot of deer.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
I
they
keep
just,
hitting them.
I know, yeah, they just love to just jump out in front of you. I lived in Maryland, so yeah.
So I figured,
Lots of moose.
And they
why
just
not
will
learn how to
stop
do
right in
something?
front. You're like, come on.
They're standing there nice and quiet, and you're like, good, great, we got this.
Yeah, lights.
It's like the joke, you step out of the woods, step on a stick, and they're all gone.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
But, is somebody coming at them? Hey, I'm just going to stand here.
So what I like to do is to cut around, all around, and I don't know if you can smell that, but I cut into the scent glands between his hoofs as well.
That nice musky smell.
Wonderful.
Makes the mouth
So
water.
is it just the act of walking that disperses the scent, or do they actually paw at stuff?
I don't know. Do you
I think
know?
it's a combination of both, maybe. Mostly it's, especially during the rut, the glands swell up and
Okay.
they just all over the place. You know, like how us guys do.
Gotcha.
You know, you just keep cutting around, and now, so I got almost everything off, right? All around.
So you're saving the tricky part.
Yes. So here's the bone right here, and then there's another one. So now we want to cut on the outside of that bone. Well, you can cut, and we can always pull it off later. But, and then there is a sweet spot in there between the joints. And even I've done so many, and sometimes I just can't find a joint. And it can take me 10 or 15 minutes, and I have to walk away. I'm going to do it. But, so, if you can't find it and it takes a while, don't get mad at yourself, because we've done hundreds. And
Don't rush it, you'll make a mistake.
right.
And if you do slip or make a hole in it,
Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
just patch it up. It's not a big deal. Just more time. And my pride. Like I should have been able to do this. Oh, but see here. See how it's starting to. There is the joint right there. And the reason why I wear gloves, I don't usually, but we had a tire blowout on the way here, and I picked up the part that blew up, and all the
shredded little
the
wires.
shredded
Thing.
wires just cut my finger. And if you do get a cut, you really have to go wash your hands and put a Band-Aid on, please. And I know some, especially guys, oh no, I'm fine. Like, yeah, worry about it. because
Yeah,
this
all you
is-
need is that one infection.
This is rawhide, and it's not.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there are quite a lot of bacteria.
I've been lucky so far, but yeah, I've seen guys just get like a minor, like little cut, and it just, their hand just swells up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't know where those feet have been.
Yeah.
See, I nicked it a little bit there. Sorry, Missy.
That's okay.
just means you get to teach how to patch it up. It's part of the plan.
So anyway, this is what you guys are going to do. And, now you just kind of keep twisting and turning, and sometimes I reach it from the bottom or the side. And deer are actually harder than elk.
Oh, good to know.
Yes.
You'll need a lot more legs.
I wouldn't want anything to be too easy.
Right.
Well, yeah. I mean, roadkill abounds, but I've also myself killed 7, so, I don't wish to continue that record.
Okay, I'm almost there. And bison it's very interesting to do a bison leg.
Really?
Yeah, there is so much of this fat globules and stuff, and when you need to because you need to get that off, right? And it's almost impossible to hold it. It's so,
It's like holding a jello.
yeah, absolutely. There you go.
So somebody told me once for bear, taking the bear hide and cleaning it because there's so much fat on it, to put it in the freezer and then take it out, and then it's hardened.
Right.
So you
Oh,
can get
that's
a
a good
better
idea.
grip
Uh-huh.
than when you're in
very
the
good.
sun and it's 85 degrees and it's just like,
Oh, the smell.
So then you're taking the hoof off because...
No, you don't have to. But
as I
if
say.
you want the sinew in there, it's not very long. You can cut it off here and cut it off. You see here.
Go along the canal.
Yeah.
look at that.
Here
Wow.
we go. And then when you cut there, you can see, and you can pull that out.
Hello.
and save. You have to cut the sheath off as well to get in there. But then you just dry that, and then you can use that
The
later.
threads for
Yeah.
sewing. That's so cool.
So
Been
my
doing
dogs
this
love this part.
forever, and I've never seen this part
Yeah.
where the sinew comes from. Very
So-
cool.
Yeah. So that's the leg sinew, and you can use that one in the front as well.
Nice.
So everybody, and then I'm going to put out the little container. When you don't need the razor anymore, put it in
Good
there
idea.
and go to work.
Okay.
Okay, here's the bag. Probably need to re-soak this part here. But it's a belt bag made from Hock's Hock of elk. The main part here, the out part, is raw skin, which we scraped off, and buckskin for the back. Plan on using it. Wife suggests I should use it as a camera bag.